to do to your congregation.
Men in a group chat. 70,000 men in a group chat. What are they discussing? How to harm women and children. And this includes the women and their families, including their mothers. I don't know, y'all, we going into a new year. If this is not a sign, ladies, for you to be decentering men, if this, girl, 70,000. Putting all that energy into plotting and scheming against women, why don't they just sleep together? Problem solved. Keep us out of the conversation and y'all sleep together. Why don't y'all play matchmaker in that fucking group chat? 70,000 men. That should be enough incentive for you to decenter them and to stay single and celibate and level up.
That number is not hyperbole. 70,000 men got into a group chat and have sustained it for years, where the whole purpose of it was to give tips and tricks about how to harm women in your life. Your girlfriend, your aunt, your sister, your mom, your daughter. And we wonder why it is that women will have these conversations in social media about the man or the bear. Well, bear's not doing that. Grizzlies aren't getting together and talking through the trees about how to fuck up women. Like, that's not happening. And you know what really frustrates me about this news at all existing? Beyond the fact that I can't even imagine how many women have just like had their lives made worse, if not totally harmed or ended by this chat. But it makes me angry because you know that 70,000 is a big enough number. That's enough people to fill all SoFi Stadium, by the way. That's a big enough number that almost certainly a non-insignificant portion of the people in that chat were young men between the ages of 10 and 20. And I just wonder who in their life is asking them, who are you spending your time with? Where are you hearing that? Who told you to talk like that? You know, because like if it starts in a group chat, it's gonna percolate into regular conversation. And if you're a young guy like me, I'm 26. You know, I have a 15-year-old nephew, and if I heard any inkling about that young man talking in any way about harming the women in his life, I mean, he'd be getting a call from me, right? Like it's not even a negotiation. You know, it would be a call to understand what are you doing, first of all, and then it would be me cajoling the shit out of him to stop that. Because there's a point where when the conversation is about harm, it's less about the gentle parenting, right? It's about letting people know, like, that's not okay. You know, like, you are not a man to do that. You know, no man is a man to do that. Things like that. And it just makes me wonder how many of these young men who were certainly in this chat were able to show the chat directly to their friends, or maybe even to older men in their life, and only receive like, oh man, that's so edgy, that's so crazy, instead of being like, hey, you want to fucking show me that again? You want to tell me why you're in that chat? You know? I just, God, dude, it's just, it drives me crazy because people on the right love to talk about social decay and about corrosion of morals. This is it. Stuff like this is it. This is the acid bath on everybody's psyche and sense of safety that nobody needs. You know, and for what? For what? For these guys to feel tough? Like, for them to share memes where the joke is woman hurt? Like, where's the outrage about this? You know, where's the...
Anyway, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. New as in the gospel of God, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the spirit. Not going to be too long. I saw this video on the timeline, and it's basically this fish-headed woman right here complaining about 70,000 men. And I'm going to go on TikTok and see what's what. But 70,000 men are in group chats talking about how they want to harm women and their families and their mothers and blase. But you have to understand several things regarding the women of our nation and just the women of the West, period. Okay, they have been, and we say this all the time, feminism, disrespect, okay, no accountability, okay, reckless behaviors, all will lead to a type of revolting against this current structure, man. Okay, you know, like, it's just no accountability that's being taken on behalf of these women. All right, now, whoever's in these groups, obviously, hold on, Slock, I gotta sneeze. Damn, thought I had to sneeze, but anyway, obviously the men in these groups are finding out with these women, whether they be baby mamas or mothers or sisters and brothers. Keisha and just women in general, mainly you black women, you've done a number on the men of your nation, all right? So, I mean, a lot of them is at the point that they just say, you know what, we don't really give a shit about you or what happened to you. Okay, a lot of guys are not even holding bonds with their children anymore because the woman has turned the child against the father and she's become disrespectful. I remember I was listening to a video a little while ago and it was this Jake man on the phone talking to his daughter and she like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. You know, but yet he's paying child support and all this other shit. But this little demonic ass child. And this is why the scriptures say, man, you're supposed to train up a child in the way they should go. All right. And folly is set in the hearts of children. That's why you got to beat their ass, man. All right. Because these little kids are little freaking monsters. You know, here he's supporting this little gremlin. And she's taking out the semblance of her mother, hating her father, all because of the one-sided narratives. And that's usually what happened when you have kids by these black women, man, and they choose to push you away or if you leave or whatever it may be. It always comes down to you, the bad guy. Okay, they don't ever go into account of all the support payments you may have paid and, you know, how many times you tried to see the child. She'll never tell the kid that because ultimately it's a war against you, Jake. Okay, there's a war out on our men. Us, period. And now, we're in a time now that men are like, you know what, the hell with these women. We gonna figure this out on our own, okay? And it's gonna come to a time that we gonna fuck y'all ass up, okay? Because you got men out here that's really plotting on getting some get back because you know how many Jakes are in prison behind a fucking wicked ass woman? Okay, woman that took his money, put him in child support, alimony, that took his home, took his children, slept with other men behind their back. You women are gonna pay for that. Okay, and it's funny how you could come on here and complain about it. And of course, you got this goofy, this simp here advocating for the damn woman because he's probably
we'll have these conversations in social media.
And you tend to have guys that act like this, that
Together.
grew up with. You tend to have men like that act like that grew up in single parent households and their mother can never do nothing wrong. Like when you listen to these little drill rappers, they always talk about, I want to give my mom my house and car. And yet your mama wasn't nothing but a damn demon. Okay, took your father out of the picture, or if she even knew your father, all right, totally made that man's life hell. And then you're the result of it, and now here you go. But it's funny how they never talk about these things, but then when the shoe was on the other foot, now that this information is coming out that these men want some get back, they want their pound of flesh, which they will get their pound of flesh back, okay? Because you got to understand that eventually these bureaucracies like these city and state governments that provides your way of living, that steals child support or steals money from the man and give it to you, that's gonna come to pass soon. That's gonna end one day, all right? And it ain't gonna be shit that a cop, an administrative assistant or a judge or a state's attorney gonna do to get your ass out of hot water, okay? Because the scriptures say that jealousy is the rage of a man. He would not spare in the time of trouble or vengeance. So there will be some get back, and the Lord will give you over to these men eventually. All you baby mamas out there, then talk your shit, and then put false narratives out, or you didn't demonize the man you were dealing with all because he left you and, you know, he didn't deal with your kids. Hey, you gonna pay. All right. And the brother Zechariah, Remnant Seeker, says, I guess we just gonna act like Eve wasn't promoting witchcraft and poisoning men after an election in social form that got over 100,000 views. Exactly, bro. Like I said, no fucking accountability. Okay, we just gonna take a blind notice on how women are talking about spirit cooking on men, putting shit in their food, you know, setting them up. Okay, like getting men locked up, getting them killed, getting them set up by other guys, poisoning their foods. Okay, deliberately getting them fired from their jobs. Y'all gonna act like that these women are just so damn innocent. You Eve, you have a lot to pay for. You have a lot to pay for, and you haven't paid up yet. Okay, so let's get a couple of precepts. I don't want to harp on this too long. All right, but it's going to come a time that your mouths are going to be shut. Okay, so this is the book of Jeremiah 9:17. It says, for a voice of wailing is heard out of Zion. How we are spoiled. It says, we are greatly confounded because we have forsaken the land, because our dwellings have cast us out. So yet hear the word of Yahweh, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one in her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and is entered to our palaces, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets, man. So hey, it says, teach your women wailing. Okay, you're going to learn just to do just that, man. Because when the Most High allows the so-called white man to come down with great wrath and go door to door and search your homes and separate you from your children and putting you in different concentration camps and having a way with you, all this shit that you've done is going to come back into remembrance, man, because literally you have taken advantage of this liberty that you have been given by the serpent. All right. All this money you're getting. Like, I know bitches that make money every month and they baby daddies on child support and they getting tax money. You know, and they're like, well, why the hell you need my money? You make more money than me. You get all the taxes from the kids and you getting child support. Like, how much fucking money do you need? Yet this guy, on the other hand, is getting ripped off and getting broken by the system just to feed this bitch and to keep him in a bind, man. And they wonder why a lot of these women end up dead, man. Like, a lot of these women that end up unalived and missing, a lot of them be, man, they be having these dudes on child support, man. Okay, and that's going to come to an end real soon. Because I'm going to tell you like this, these state governments, they ain't got the funding to continue. And when the federal government goes completely bankrupt, it ain't going to be nothing they can do to bail these city governments, these state governments out. And they're going to have to opt into that digital system, man. And if anybody that don't opt into the digital system, and they fuck, because it ain't no way they can track you down. You know, but it says, for death has come up into our windows and has entered to our palaces. It says to cut off the children from without and the young men from the streets, man. Okay, so a sweeping of death and a plague of death is getting ready to hit America. Lord's will this year. All right. Jeremiah 4:30, it says here, when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? It says, though thou closest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with paintings, in vain should thou make thyself fair, and thy lovers will despise thee, and they will seek thy life. Yeah, so they're going to come, they're going to get their pound of flesh, man. Because the whole time you go to these court hearings or alimony, here she getting $2,000 per child. That's 6 to 7 bands right there. Make damn near $5,000 a month and taking money from you. And you, on the other hand, trying to plead your case to the fake ass judge. Like, well, that ain't fair. You know, she got taxes. You never see the kids. She's getting blase. And yet y'all taking money from me just to do it. And then she comes with her sob story, with her victimization, playing victim. Oh, well, you know, and all of a sudden the judge favors with this bitch because that's what they designed to do. Okay, those courts are set up to totally railroad men, man. And this is why you have groups like this going about. 70,000 men seeking to harm women, you know, their mothers, their children, whoever, because a lot of jakes that grew up under single parent households, whether they had an older sister, big mama, auntie, all these women were responsible or in some indirect way responsible for the outcome of that man's life or some way of his I'll say the thinking. Because you got a big mama, you got an auntie, a sister, and a mother. There's no masculinity there. There's no reasoning among that. They're just a great big ball of emotion of women making ruinous choices, man. And you grow up with the same mindset, emotional, impulsive, can't think straight, anxiety all over the place. You know, getting down, talked upon, all types of shit. Instead of calling you a man, they call you a boy. Okay, they don't even look at you as being authoritative at all. And then this nigga grows up and be a damn bum, in and out of prison, in gangs, and shootouts, sticking up 2 big grocery stores and shit. And then all of a sudden he gets put to death. Now they blame, oh, he was a lowlife. Well, look at the bitches that raised him up. You see the fucking hypocrisy, man. All right. This is the book of Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. That's right, man. Okay, so you brothers, man, you got to be careful on who you have children with. All right, and not just children with, be careful on who you date. Okay, we ain't in a time now of courting all these damn women, man. The women gonna come. The Lord gonna send who needs to be in your life. Don't be trying to go out there and purposely court all these wives to yourselves, man. Okay, now we not saying you can't deal with women or you got you 2 women, whatever. That's your business, you know. The Lord sent it to you, then hey, more power to you. But what I'm speaking of is just doing it without no discretion. She look good, she got a fat ass, she got this, she got that. Hell nah, man. Okay? Don't get yourself in those predicaments because, hey, remember, the scriptures say, matter of fact, let's get this to Sirach real quick. Let's go to the book of Sirach, man. Because you got to understand that this nigga woman, she's in tandem with this damn devil. All right? This is the book of Sirach 9. And I'm going to start at verses 13. It says, keep thee far from the men that have the power to kill. So should thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. But the point I want to make is remember that thou goes into the midst of the snares, that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. So be careful, man. Okay, because most of these women, they are into some type of witchcraft, playing with crystals, speaking with mediums, all right, part of witch groups. And they be preying on a lot of you dudes' downfall, man. Okay, most of these women, especially these black women, ask them what they believe in, man. And if they say spiritual, hey, if you got a spirit to endure that shit, hey, be careful, man. If a chick tell me she's spiritual, then hey, recreational purposes only. They ain't a demon that I'm gonna sit up here and allow in my house to ruin my house, man. Okay, I'm not gonna sit up here and invite her home to my father, mother, or make a house with her. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Get in, keep it at a distance until that shit goes sour, or don't deal at all. You know. So be careful out here, for real. And this is why you have this group. These niggas ain't just targeting these women because they want to. These women done something, man. Okay, all the shit they say on these podcasts. I don't need a man, I don't need a man. But you got this charging Chuck looking demon. She's funny looking as hell, man. All right, that bitch really look like a Pringle can with glasses on her goddamn head. You women just need to be destroyed, to say the least. But anyway, it says here, though thou deckest, clothe thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with paintings, in vain should thou make thyself fair, and thy lover should despise thee and seek thy life. Yeah, so they gonna get their pound of flesh, man. And Esau ain't gonna be there to deliver you this time. It says, for I've heard a voice as of a woman in travail, as the anguish of her that bringeth forth her first child, as the voice of the daughter of Zion that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, woe is me now, for my soul is weary because of murderers, man. And we know that's talking about the nation of Israel. But what consists of the nation of Israel? The woman as well. All right. Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it. It says, shame shall cover her which said unto me, where's the Lord thy power? It says, my eyes should behold her. Now she should be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And men are waiting to get their pound. They can't wait for the society to go left just so they can get their pound of flesh, man. All right, so I'm going to end it. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord, is where you will edify. Until the next lesson. Shalom.